Woo! What's going on, guys? Arms Form coming at you guys with another video. And today's video, I'm going to be talking about some more Detroit Lions OTAs. The start of June, so pretty much the second week of OTAs. And big shout out to guys like Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara, John Macaron for getting this stuff out, and so we can do our thing and we can get it out to you guys as well. And I can have my own opinions on it, put some different spins on it. So apparently Dan Campbell, man, they wanted to work on some situational football going on with this, according to him. So they're pretty much doing third down work. Gonna do some red zone eventually. Get down to work on just critical situations. They'll work on goal line and stuff like that a little bit later on, but just doing stuff like the third down, red zone, week to week. Work on some real football situations, stuff that they're going to be getting involved with like all year, all season long with those critical situations. So Campbell really wants to knock off some of the rust off the vets. He wants to start developing the young guys right away. So he's getting into that. Penasini, I guess John Penasini, the defensive tackle, drafted a few years ago. Bob Quinn wasn't in attendance, and it looks like he's not going to be there all week for the 2-3 days that we have this second week of OTAs. Not sure what's going on with him, but he's supposed to be back next week for sure. TJ Hawkinson, Garrett Griffin, Taylor Decker, Romeo Akwara, and John Pascal were not spotted at Thursday's practice either. Not really sure what's going on with those guys. Maybe nursing some injuries in the training room, getting attended to. So who really knows what's going on there? I know Pascal hasn't. I don't think he's signed yet. I think he's the only one. Pretty sure he hasn't signed. So I don't think that's it though, because this is all voluntary stuff. I think when training camp comes around, then it's a whole different story. But I don't think he's signed. Maybe he's nursing an injury. Maybe all these guys are. I know Decker had a foot thing going on. Romeo's coming off an injury. TJ Hawkinson's coming off an injury too as well. Garrett Griffin, don't know too much about him. And John Pascal, I know he's been banged up before in college at Kentucky, but I don't really know. Maybe he tweaked something. So don't really know what's going on there, but hopefully these guys return really fast. Guys that were there but not warming up were guys like wide receiver Jamison Williams, who's still banged up. Tight end Derek Deese Jr., he's missed a lot of time already now so far as a UDFA. It's not a good sign for him. Don't really know what's going on with Derek Deese Jr. Don't know what it is. Tight end James Mitchell, I know he's coming off an ACL as well too, so they're taking it slowly with him. D lineman Eric Banks, cornerback Jerry Jacobs, guy coming off another injury, and DB Ifeatu Melifonwu. Don't know what's going on with him, with Melifonwu. I know that they've been trying to find a spot for him in the secondary, throwing him in at safety and stuff like that. So trying to get the kid going. Maybe he tweaks something as well. Don't really know. We'll find out more down the stretch. Now Okudah is ramping up some of his workloads. He denied all rumors that he was getting switched to safety. Not that he said that he won't go there, but he said that nobody has even approached him about even moving from cornerback to safety. So all those rumors, all those rumblings, all the talk about him going to safety, it sounds like we can put it to bed right now. Because it doesn't sound like it's going to happen whatsoever. He hasn't been approached, so he's sticking that corner, fellas. He's sticking that corner. Let's see what happens with that, and that's fine, man. So he just needs to ramp up his workload so he can be ready for training camp, and that's what they're doing right now. Amani Oruwariye and Will Harris still remain the first team cornerbacks at the moment. So get used to that right now. Will Harris getting a lot of looks too, moving all over the place in the secondary and looking pretty comfortable out there too as well. We'll get a little bit to that later. I got some stuff over there. Hutch getting some first team reps. Aiden Hutchinson, the second overall pick. No shocker there. Playing alongside guys like Julian Okwara, Charles Harris, and Jashawn Cornell. A lot of people forget about Jashawn Cornell. I forgot about him too. He was the D lineman that we drafted a couple years ago, who's had a string of bad lucks with an injury, and then he had a drug suspension, and he's pretty much only just suited up for one game as a Detroit Lion and got zero stats because of it. Just kind of sat on the sidelines waiting to get in and didn't really, I don't think he even got in. But those were the first team guys, the first team defense going in there. You saw Hutchinson going up against Ragnow and Jonah Jackson apparently. Both sides were winning reps, so didn't really say how bad it was or how good it was. Just both sides won reps and got the best of both. They got the best of each other. So you like hearing that. Ragnow, he's one of the best centers in the league. Jonah Jackson slowly becoming really good guard, Pro Bowl berth last year. And Hutchinson beating those guys too as well. So a little bit of back and forth. That's what we want to hear. It's what we want to hear and see. DJ Chark is fast as hell. Like I've already been talking about this. He's looking explosive. He's looking very fast. And Goff is looking for him. I kind of talked about this with Micro Mike yesterday on the LNU podcast, Lions Nation Unite, and I kind of talked about it on his channel as well, Micro Mike, the OPP, One Pride podcast. Talked about how there's some chemistry going on, and then the very next day, Dan Campbell literally repeated my words. And said the same thing. He goes, there's a chemistry going on right there between Goff and Chark. Goff is looking for him. He's catching the ball. He's looking good. Both guys looking good right there. So you really like to see that, man. Especially with with this offense now, and you're going to have Chark, and apparently we're going to see Jameson Williams in there together. It's going to open up the field big time. And it's going to open up play action, something that Jared Goff is really good at. We rip on Jared Goff, and some of it is deserved. Okay, we rip on him, but he's a very good play action quarterback, and he gets the job done in play action. So there's two guys that can literally that defenses have to know where they are all the time, Jameson and DJ, because they can just fly right by you, and that's beautiful for play action. So I like to hear that. I like to see it. I can't wait for it to happen full circle. Tim Boyle, the other quarterback, the number 2 quarterback apparently right now, is looking terrible. Incompletions all over the place. And he also threw a pick to rookie safety 3rd round pick, Kirby Joseph out of Illinois. So good for the kid getting the pick. Bad for Tim Boyle. Looking really frustrated out there. Apparently he threw his helmet. Didn't look good. He had balls thrown in the dirt all over the head. Threw a really bad ball to Khalif Raymond apparently too. So he's not looking good right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Campbell made the switch just for a little bit for David Blau to take number 2 reps, just to light a fire under Tim Boyle's ass. Something's gotta happen, or he's gotta go. You know what I mean? I know it's early. It's only June. It's the beginning of June, but our backup quarterback situation is terrible to begin with, and we just can't have this, guys. So maybe David Blau should go in there for number 2 reps, see what happens there, and maybe it'll light a fire under Tim Boyle. But Blau has been looking better than Boyle. So then Goff's looking good with the deep ball still. I kind of talked about that the last OTAs. Looking really good. Got some zip and some crisp to his ball, throwing some spirals. You like that, man. You love to hear that. I think he's getting more confidence in this offense. The offense is struggling as a whole, though. Defense was getting sacks all day. Apparently, Jashawn Cornell had a sack. Who else had a sack? I guess they were getting sacks all day, but Jashawn Cornell was getting in there too. Goff did connect with Josh Reynolds on a nice 4th and 1 call, though. So there's familiarity there with those two guys playing in LA together, LA Rams. You like that too. So he's looking for his boy Josh Reynolds. That's a good sign. And then, like I talked about earlier with Will Harris is in there looking tight in coverage, making plays, knocked the pass down. That was intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. Kind of a diving stop, a diving pass breakup. He's looking very comfortable, looking tight. So that's good for Will Harris, man. That's, you know what I mean? He's not a good safety. Maybe he found his niche. Maybe he found his position. But right now, he's your number two. He's your number two cornerback on this team. So let's see what happens there. Then I talked about earlier, Jashawn Cornell is getting into the backfield at a regular pace and is winning his one-on-ones. Good sign there. This is a kid who I suited up for one game, but he got zero stats like I talked about earlier. Kid that played at Ohio State. Wasn't a great football player at Ohio State. Solid. Drafted in did we draft him in the 6th or 7th round? He might have been a 7th round pick. Didn't really do a lot his first couple years at Ohio State, and then ended up having 5-6 sacks his last year at Ohio State from the defensive tackle position. So, and then he had some bad luck with some drug suspensions, and then he had injury first, then the suspension. Don't really know what the drugs were, so I don't know if it was PED. I don't know if it was a recreational drug. I don't know. So I'm not even too sure. But he was suspended. But it's good that he's coming in there. Aaron Glenn is getting a good look at the young kid. So if he's getting into the backfield from that defensive tackle spot, that is a bonus. Wide receiver Trinity Benson. Trinity Benson sighting, looking good out there. He's getting looks. They're looking for him, and he's making catches. Big difference from last year where he looked okay, and then he started dropping passes, was forgetting plays. Maybe he's smartened up. It is early, but it's a good first sign for Trinity Benson, who is a bubble player, by the way, who could be either cut or thrown on a practice squad. So he's trying to get into the 53 or the 55, whatever they do now. So he's trying to make that full roster. That's good for him. Second-year running back Jamar Jefferson was showing out on Thursday. He was catching a lot of passes thrown his way, Craig Reynolds kind of taking a back seat to him on that Thursday afternoon. This might be a nice little camp battle coming up with these two guys, with Jamar and Craig Reynolds, to who wins that number 3 running back spot. Two good running backs, I think. Two guys that have some talent. You know what I mean? Craig Reynolds, that good story, Netflix and chill. He's bounced around for a couple teams, Jacksonville, Washington. So he's kind of bounced around, has some more experience than Jamar Jefferson, but Jamar Jefferson is an extremely young running back who didn't get a lot of playing time last year. Only got in pretty much because some guys were hurt. So maybe he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, but that might be a nice camp battle between Jamar Jefferson and Craig Reynolds. I'm excited to see who wins that one. Dan Campbell, too, high-fiving Goff after a 7-on-7 drill. Goff fitting some footballs into tight windows, making some nice throws. The confidence level seems to be there with Goff. The offense is still a little bit behind right now on the defense, but that's going to happen. They're implementing a whole new offense. I think offense takes a little bit more time. Obviously, it takes a little bit more time because defense, they are implementing a little bit different of a defense this year. We're more of an attacking style defense, not more of a read and react like we were last year, anyways. Which I thought was a ridiculous defense, read and react. Attack the football, attack the player with the ball. That's how it should be. And I think it's a little bit easier to implement a defensive scheme than it is an offensive scheme. An offensive scheme is a little more complicated. It just is. So you're going to see guys you're going to see teams or just units. You're going to see the defensive unit kind of ahead of the curve right now. And the offense is trying to catch up. So it is a good sign that that Goff's in there making nice throws. The confidence level is there. Just the whole team needs to get on board. The whole offense needs to get on board, and it will come with time. And Amon-Ra St. Brown showing some fancy footwork out there as well on a nice route. He had to stop in his tracks and reverse his course, It made a nice catch on a comeback pattern. So the guy's got a lot of skill. We're seeing more and more of it now with Amon-Ra. Is such a good find from last year, a fourth round kid out of USC. What a great find for Brad Holmes. And then Jamal Williams, on the lighter side, Jamal Williams doing Jamal Williams things, messing around with special teams coach Dave Phipp, dancing behind him, both getting a good laugh out of it. You gotta love that, man. You gotta love the attitude that Jamal Williams brings to this team. He just lightens the mood, lightens everything up. It's a good trait to have, man. It's an absolute good trait to have. And then, last but not least, I think this is the last of my notes that I wrote down. Levi Onwuzurike, the second round pick that we picked last year out of Washington, the Husky, looks apparently. I still haven't seen a picture of him. But I guess I saw that one picture where he was kind of on his knees and he was hitting the sled. He looked thinner in the face. He looked like his arms were jacked up a little bit. I haven't really seen a full picture of him. I've been looking. He looks jacked apparently. He looks really good. He looks in phenomenal shape, and he was looking fluid in drills too. So that's a really good sign. And that's it, guys. That's some OTAs. I'll be trying to do this daily or every other day because I'm still doing players. I'm still doing a lot of videos right now. So OTAs will be coming up. I'll be trying to do it daily or every other day as much as I can. So that's the video, guys. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get all my videos. And don't forget, like and comment this video. Let's talk about the OTAs. What do you guys want to see? What are you guys happy about? Good job, Lions. One pride. Let's go. Boom.